Oh, no, we did it the first year.
We did what?
Our house did it the wrong way the first year. And it was corrected.
Oh, it was correct.
Yeah. Jesus was born on 25th that morning. You guys are missing it. Yeah.
You saw
the wise man showed up, everything.
Welcome to Not a Fitted Podcast. It's your boy Anthony Chicano. We got another one for everybody right here. You guys look all jolly. You look festive. Christmas time of year right now. Y'all in the mood or what? We good? Bishop, Toka, we good?
I like Christmas.
I love Christmas.
I got the Christmas light. I'm really surprised. I'm the only house on my block with Christmas lights up.
There it is. There it is. You got
but are we
Christmas
super
cheer.
early or like?
Nah, people late. Hey, I'm a firm believer. Can I just say this to all my Christmas people out there? I've got no problem if you put your lights up in November. And I'm talking November 1st.
But I thought like Thanksgiving was kind of like the swing.
It is.
Once you get past Thanksgiving, everybody goes up.
The rule of thumb has been as soon as Thanksgiving is over, you got that Friday, Saturday, get your lights up. But I'm telling you, lights is a hard work. People don't sleep on this. Lights are hard. You got my permission to even turn them on starting in November. I'm not saying you got to bypass Thanksgiving. I'm saying it's just a lot of work for a whole 30 days. That's all I'm saying. Like, and the rule of thumb is you got till January 1st, take your lights down.
Yeah, and the hard work thing is legit. I don't want to do all that work for like a week.
That's what I'm saying. I'm with you. But I'm glad you're in the Christmas. You like Christmas? Okay, hold on. We got to get this out because we're going to talk about Christmas today. But we're going to go knee deep in it right from the jump. Okay? What's your beef with opening Christmas presents early?
Oh, I second that.
What is your beef?
Yeah, so...
No, talking to Mike. Yeah. I want everybody to hear you because we all, hey, listen, everybody going to chime in. We're going to pick a bone with the bishop on this one.
I was talking to someone recently, and they talked about their Christmas experience, and they opened up their Christmas presents on Christmas Eve. All of them. Not one present, all of them.
Oh, I like it.
Christmas morning, guess what they're doing?
Eating breakfast, which you should be doing.
Sleeping. There's no excitement. They're like, if we don't open the presents up before then, how did you sleep? That's the point. You barely could sleep. You're waiting. You're waking up, trying to get your parents to wake up early. Like, that's the fun in it. And, like, they're just, on Christmas morning, they're just simply asleep.
Are these Mexicans?
Yeah.
Well, because we eat a lot of tamales, we're tired.
No.
Masa put you to
Christmas
sleep. Put you in a coma.
Christmas is another day for them.
And it sounds so depressing.
Yeah. It sounds sad. I was like, you're missing out.
Hold on. I thought you were with me.
Oh, no, definitely not.
Okay. Let me break it down. Let me educate. Both of you are married to Latinas here, too, so hopefully they're rubbing off on you. Hopefully y'all get to experience true Mexican Christmas.
Oh, no, we did it the first year.
We did what?
Our house did it the wrong way the first year. And it was corrected.
Oh, it was correct.
Yeah. Jesus was born on 25th that morning. You guys are missing it. Yeah. The wise man showed up, everything. You guys are messing everything up.
Okay, tell me. That was one of the wise men there. At like 6:03, I was there. I just think to understand, like normally there's like some midnight mass or there's a church service. You go home. They've been making tamales all week long, possibly even warm that night. I mean, think about it. You go home. You got the family there. Everybody's opening up presents. You eat. You have some desserts. You're going to bed like at midnight, 1 in the morning. Of course you sleep in.
You know what it sounds like? A birthday party.
It's Jesus' birthday. We celebrating.
You celebrating Jesus' birthday by you're opening your own gifts.
Yeah.
Nah.
Where's
the excitement? There's no excitement.
There's no build-up. There's no...
Okay, well, I disagree. I think it's fun. I think it's a good time. Then
there's no running down the hallway, see what's under the tree.
There's no pressure. Christmas morning, you make a nice Okay, I'm all about a Christmas breakfast more than I am a Christmas dinner. That's just me. I like a nice, big, beautiful breakfast.
Like, what does that look like?
I'm talking, let's go all the way at papas, bacon, eggs, tortillas, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, waffles, whatever anybody wants, I'll make. And just get full.
Do you guys do a big Christmas dinner?
Well, now I do. Now it's usually prime rib. We do like a prime rib. What about you? You do a big Christmas dinner?
Yeah. Big Christmas dinner.
Not a big. So you guys bypass breakfast, or what do we do?
Yeah, I mean at home. I'm at home, but my family will get together, and then we'll do a dinner later on. I call my family.
So like breakfast is like on your own, cereal, little waffle. Okay.
Yeah.
Eggo.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you prefer? Big Christmas breakfast, big Christmas dinner, or both?
Ooh, that's a mild breakfast.
Okay, mild.
But I don't want to do like a normal. I don't want anything normal on Christmas
Okay.
Day because I don't do. Look, you celebrate Christmas on Christmas Day, so you got to. So you can't do anything like normal.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like you can't have like cereal for breakfast. You got to have like you said, some papas.
Hey, you know what I can do?
But
though?
no one truly cares about breakfast on Christmas. You care about the toys. My kid's probably not eating until like noon. Like no one cares.
He's not letting
Okay.
it go.
No.
He's not letting it go.
No.
Okay. Okay. By the way, I won't argue that point.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right on that point.
But the breakfast is for me.
Yeah. That's what I was going with. Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like they could care less. I mean, actually, my kids do like to eat good on Christmas, but
Well, one of your kid likes to eat good all the time.
yes.
Okay.
But-
Just throwing that out there. He'd probably love coming to my house for breakfast. He'd be like, that's a breakfast.
Yeah, if he found out, he probably would just ask for you to come pick him up.
Breakfast, go back and open presents.
He's gonna open up gifts and hey, can he come pick me up now? So the breakfast is for me.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
what I was saying.
But you're right. The kids probably aren't caring. You're right. They're probably trying to get to that gift, see what's under the tree. So let me ask you guys this. Since we're talking about Christmas, just from the jump, because you guys are looking like you're in some holiday cheer. We're going to get asked this question because we always get asked this question. Should we be celebrating Christmas? I have a slide I'm going to show. Just give me a second. But first, before I get the slide ready, I do have a question for you guys. Is there a limit? I know in the Flores household, I used to tell everybody, to all the kids, that, hey, we're going to give you a limit for Christmas, and it's usually a small budget. Could be 100, could be 150 bucks. I don't think it's ever been more than that, just for the record, okay? And I say, listen, because Christmas is about Jesus. Whatever I give you guys in gifts, I'm also going to go buy gifts for other kids. And that's rotated throughout the years. One day we just did all coats. But usually I will spend even more on others and not our own household. My wife's been on board with that. This has been as long as they can remember. Do you guys have that rule, or what rule or principle do you live by? Is there a limit on the gifts? Do you try to do equally for other people? We'll start with you, Bishop. Go ahead.
No, I don't have a set rule. The Christmas looks different every year depending on where we're at financially. So different kids have experienced different Christmases. My first son, he had some great Christmases. We had money, and he was the only kid. So,
We're just hoping that he remembers it.
Yeah. He don't remember nothing. No, I was thinking about that even just recently. What do I want to start doing with my kids now that they're older? Do I want to go do something, serve people with them? Getting them to start saving their own money, to maybe even go buy gifts for maybe a friend. Actually, we have done that before, where they could go buy gifts for one of their friends. And so it's like, take your money, go buy a gift for someone else.
Is there a principle you're trying to teach them in this? What's the thought behind that? What's your motivation, I guess?
One, not to be selfish, and to
Okay.
think of other people, and then to realize it's not all about you on this day, and think about what God has given us that we also share with other people.
Okay. What about you? What about you, Mike?
Yeah, the same in the fact that it depends on the year as far as budget wise. But we don't do it big. I mean, I have two out of three of my kids have birthdays that are weeks after Christmas.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's got one that's days.
Yeah.
You know.
I forgot.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, because of that, with my boys, we'll hold off and do something bigger for their birthdays, and then with my daughter as well. So that's a principle that we learned from you, is just try to do bigger on the birthdays than on Christmas. Now that my kids are, one of my kids, I've been able to do it before, where we went to the mission and we served dinner.
Oh, nice.
Now I think 2 out of 3 age-wise can do that, because they had an age cap. So
Understandably.
just trying to think of different things like that to where it get your eyes off of just it being about you.
Right.
I think another one that I think I actually got from you, D, was getting gifts for a friend. I think we started that, I think, maybe 3 years ago or 4 years ago.
I think, just throwing this out there, I think all that is great. Just for the people who maybe don't know how I started this, right? So on our podcast, we talk about culture and its influence on the church. And we always talk about how to go against the grain and how to do something. And one of the reasons I came up with that is because I really feel like Christmas, in order to really grasp the fullness of Christmas, it's the simple fact that it is about Jesus. I know you're joking around he was born on December 25th. We don't know what day he was really born on, but we do know that he was born and that the wise men brought him gifts. And with bringing the gifts, the focus should be on Jesus. And it's real easy in the Western world like us as Americans, consumers, to make it about us. I've always lived by this principle. How do you have joy during the holidays or joy during Christmas? It's got to be about Jesus, then it's others, and then it's you. And I've carried that principle on down to the kids. And I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to keep it about Jesus, and then it's going to be about others, and then it's going to be about you. But let me do you a solid, because I realize it is his birthday. But on your birthday, you can ask for it. Go ahead. You want to have a birthday party? Where do you want to have the birthday party? How many friends you want to have? Okay, what big gift do you want? Okay, Mom and I is going to see if it's within the realm of the budget, right? And if you could have, don't be asked for no car at 12, right? It's got to be something you can really have. But I don't mind going all out. I don't mind doing that. And so my kids have been really, really spoiled on their birthdays. And I've always taught them, like, hey, this is what it's about. And I just want to break this down just one step further. When I talk about it's about Jesus, what can you do for somebody who cannot do for themselves outside of gifts? I remember one morning we got up, we made a whole bunch of breakfast burritos, about a couple dozen donuts. We just went out and fed homeless people. It's Jesus. And the others is, let's go get gifts. Okay, I gave you guys this much. Let's all go pick out a coat. We went to Kohl's, all picked out a coat. We dropped them off at Palvarolo House. This is what we do. And that's how we always found joy during Christmas. Because I'm already going to give you. You're not going to go without a coat. You're not going to go out with, go without shoes. Plus, we had grandparents who would buy them the world at Christmas because we didn't push that on nobody. It's very important. We didn't push that on nobody. That was just what we did in our household. But I didn't push that on any of the grandparents, any of the cousins, nothing like that. This is what we did in the household. And I'm still telling you, they still always never went without. They always had the newest PS, whatever, right? But they got to see the principles of, like, we got to keep it about Jesus. If we're going to keep it about Jesus, then it's always about others. We're going to do a little something for you because, we got to have a little stocking stuffer, which is normally always candy or something, but we got something for you. But I just really want to explain that to people. Like, that's how we've been able to internalize Christmas and keep Jesus the reason for the season. Now, we're going to get people, I brought the slide up. If you guys want to take a look, I brought the slide up. We're going to have people say, well, why do you have a tree? That's pagan. Why are you doing the gifts? And what about Santa? I love, once again, our boy Wes Huff. Man, that guy comes through clutch with all this stuff. If you don't subscribe to his page
he's good.
On Instagram or on X, formerly known as Twitter, you're missing out. Real quickly, December 25th, the date of Christmas is borrowed from pagan festivals like Solus Invictus and or Saturnalia. Reality, Solus Invictus was not placed on 12/25 until 354 AD when a Felician calendar records this, but doesn't specify any festival regards to the sun worship. Prior to this, the Julio-Claudian Fastis inscriptions say sun festivals were on August 8th, 9th, and 28th, December 11th, and may be October 19th. The Felician calendar says Emperor Aurelian honored the sun with the chariot race every 4 years of October 19th to the 22nd. Saturnalia was never on 12/25. Macrobius says Saturnalia began 14 days before January, which comes out to December 17th. Using Roman calendar dates, he says it lasted for 3 days, but according to the Fasti inscriptions, it lasted the 24th during the days of the Republic. The winter solstice had no festival significance to the ancient Romans. There were no celebrations planned for the date, and they disagreed on when it was. The Julian calendar does say it's 12/25, but Pliny Elder says it's 12/26. And Comilia says it's 12/23. Father Christmas. Boy, where does he find all this stuff? My boy be digging, doesn't he?
He's got a team.
He does got a team. And you know what, though? He reads Latin. So it helps when you read the languages. Like he's in linguistics. He reads languages. So he's got a one-up on everybody. Look at this one. Father Christmas. Father Christmas surprisingly predates Santa Claus, but he is not a pagan deity. Instead, he was a medieval personification of Christmas. Richard Smart, a Plymouth Tree, is the first to write about him, referring to him as Sir Christmas, and his task is to announce the birth of Christ. Santa Claus can only be traced back to Dutch immigrants in New York in the early 1800s. He came from the Dutch Sinterklaas, also known as St. Nicholas. His feast day was on 12/6 and was moved to 12/25 around this time to help make Christmas a family holiday. Newspapers promoted it and encouraged people to give gifts on Christmas instead of New Year's like it was traditionally before it was rebranded from a Catholic priest to look like a traditional Dutchman from this time period, which included a big red suit. After this, Santa was exported around the world in different countries and new spins. Stockings were also promoted around this time, a period to trace back to Clement C. Moore's A Visit from St. Nicholas. In 1927 in Finland, a radio broadcaster, Marcus Roccio, morphed the old pagan deity Julipiki into Santa figure. Santa changed the Julipiki figure, not the other way around. So it talks about the Christmas tree. Christmas trees find their origin in Druid and pagan practices of bringing pine trees into house to ward off nature's spirits. Christmas trees only go back to the 16th century in Europe. The first mention of the Christmas tree is in Asla's ordinance in the 16th century. Almost no early pagans thought pine trees were sacred, let alone associated with 1225. Germanic tribes believed the oak was sacred. Maximus of Tyre said the Celts indeed worship Zeus, but they honor him in the form of the lofty oak. All right, we're breaking all this down. Let's go down to the mistletoe. Mistletoe does not go back to paganism. The first we hear of using mistletoe at Christmas decorations are in Robert Herrick's Chrsitains poetry collection, and then William Coles mentioned it as a decoration, the art of simpling, in the 1600s. The tradition of kissing under it did not begin until the end of the 18th century in Britain. All right, I think we broke all that down. Hopefully people can go back and watch that. But why do people do this, Bishop? Why do they hear something, they take it, and they run with it, and next thing you know, everybody's a pagan who brings a tree into the house? Why are we always doing this?
I don't know. We always believe Google. People always believe it. You Google something, something pops up, and we believe it. And we all do it. You all Google something. Stuff is not important, but you Google something like, oh, this is the answer, and you just move on. So I'm not blaming anyone else.
You ain't mad at him?
Yep.
Hey, man.
We all do it to some level, but...
Is it
The
pagan?
Google effect.
Yep. Okay. Yes, it is.
Yep. Just realize when something's important, or if you're going to argue about it with someone,
Okay,
dig a little deeper.
So here's my question. Mike, when we're presented the facts, why do people, which he obviously did a lot of work, why do people still hold on to the false narratives? What's the beef?
I don't know. I mean, with Christmas, obviously, it's associated with Christianity, and so you may have people who are, against conservative Christianity, and then you may also have some people who are kind of like you're more outspoken and old school Christians, and we just
The religious ones.
Yeah, very religious. So maybe I don't know. Maybe that's what they're
Okay,
thinking.
but they're presented with the facts, though.
So why do people, when presented with facts, stay with their argument?
Yeah, like oh, it's pagan. You got lights in a tree, and it's a deity, Celtics and Druids, and you're like, look at the facts. No. Okay, then why do you got to have a tree? It just helps us to. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, you see the facts.
Yeah, some people are like, I've already made the statement. I can't go back on it. Okay. So I'm gonna just double down. Okay. I think, most rational and mature people, when presented with facts, they'll say, "Oh, well, guess I was wrong." But there are definitely people who are like, "Well, I don't care what you have to say." That's wrong. Where'd you get that from? Yeah, he's wrong too.
Yeah. Do you know what I usually default back to? Well, then why do it on December 25th? We know that it wasn't the date. That we do know. I just think that people, I think it's what Jesus said. You choke on a gnat and you swallow a camel. It's like, we got other fish to fry right now. We got other bigger deals, but you want to harp on everybody about this. Plus, I don't know about you, but Christmas is what you do with it. Because you can be telling people don't have a tree, but you blowing all this money and doing nothing for nobody except for your own household when you should be doing it for others. Because it is his birthday. It's awfully weird to go to your birthday, but I give Mike a gift instead of you. I mean, he'll take it, though. I know him. So, but you know what I mean? That's the whole thing about you. Okay. So hopefully we settled that on Christmas. Go back and play that segment. I think it's about 10, 15 minutes long. Hopefully that helps you guys. But we keeping the Christmas cheer around here. I know that we're doing for schools. We're doing for people in our church. This is my favorite time of the year. I love doing this. I know having the Christmas tree up in my house just reminds me, hey, it's about Jesus. I don't know what anybody else does. And nativity scenes, all that does is speak to me about Jesus. By the way, where would the world be without Christmas? This is where people are not only friendlier and happier, but people are also more willing to give. And department stores should be thanking Christians, because this is how they make their money right here. Toy manufacturers, chocolates. I mean, try to go to See's Candy right now. They busy. But you know what I'm saying? Like, they should be loving them some Christmas. I shouldn't be hearing no negatives, that's for sure. And don't say the happy holidays. You better tell me Merry Christmas, because if it ain't Jesus, you ain't making no money. Just throwing that out there. Okay, I found something for you guys. Since we're talking about people and they see something, right now the big thing is, I don't know if you noticed, but Megan Thee Stallion won a lawsuit on an AI image. Somebody made her a deep fake is what they call it. And she actually won a lawsuit. We got to get into that soon. That's a precedent lawsuit. I got to see how it holds up in appeals. This could change the game on AI. Like, they're going to have to they're going to have to put a watermark of some sort to show it's AI. So this is interesting. The rapper Megan Thee Stallion, she won the lawsuit. So I just saw it last Thursday, I think, is when it showed. But talking about somebody seeing something and running with it, I'm going to show you something. I can see how this happens. John Christ, one of our favorite comedians, does this in Las Vegas. Watch this.
Church fam, what's going on here? Pastor Mike here. Thrilled to announce the grand opening of our newest campus downtown. As you can see, thank you so much for your generous donations. We have raised $150 million for this new campus to bring the gospel to the lost. We have our new sermon series coming up next week to open the church campus. It's called Wizard of Oz, Jesus, the Alpha and the Omega. And you're not going to believe what you're going to experience inside of our church on Sunday morning. 875,000 square feet of programmable LED lighting to bring you a church experience just like Paul had envisioned in the New Testament. Thrilled to have you join us. A couple house cleaning things super quick. We are going to have to close the soup kitchen. We just didn't have the manpower to keep that going. All of our focus is kind of into the Sunday morning experience and the homeless shelter that we used to have. We just don't have the room for it anymore. But we are thrilled. We're so thrilled to have you join us on Sunday morning. Can't wait to see you there, 9 and 11.
Okay, go ahead, Bishop. What do you think? I love this guy. He's
No, I want to see what Mike gonna say.
okay. What you got, Mike?
I've eased up. I've eased up on John.
Oh, okay.
Christ, yeah.
Oh, you don't like? Did you not like? Were you
No,
mad at him
no.
for a minute?
I didn't like him when we were in a heavy season, season of heavy Christian bashing.
Okay.
Now it's kind of like moderate Christian
Okay.
bashing. Now that we've got Sleepy Joe out and
Okay.
Trump's in office, but it's funny if you're in like I don't know the church realm and you see this like you know it's funny.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
What'd you think?
Yeah, no, it's fun.
You know what that is, though, right?
Yeah, it's fair.
It's
Yeah.
the Sphere in Vegas. Yeah.
You got to close the soup kitchen.
Yeah. That's the only part I didn't like that part.
He didn't say because of money, though.
No.
He said because of lack of manpower. Okay. See, somebody's going to see that. They're like, look at this. A Christian church, again, wasting all this money, not feeding the poor. It's tongue-in-cheek. This is the whole reason why he did it, is just to make tongue-in-cheek on what is going on, especially with all the Christian bashing that was going on. Remember, nobody would give that woman. She called. She needed formula. She had a fake baby cry. So he does this type of stuff. But I'm only saying this because people are going to see this, and I guarantee they're going to be like, look at this, another Christian church doing this. And that's what I'm saying by people just, instead of doing the hard work, investigating, looking into it, and talking about it, and not just Googling, right? I'm sure Google would have this answer too. It's not a church. They just quick to assume and to judge. And I only play that as parody from the whole Christmas thing. Like, hey, come on, guys. We can do better. Okay. I need to talk to you guys about something that I think is very important. And I think, first off, I have two questions for you guys. As pastors, is there a standard that we should live by when it comes to how we live our daily life? So in other words, how we conduct ourselves morally, ethically, financially, in all regards. Number two, do we have an obligation when we see something out of pocket to call them out, whether it's a government official, local official, another pastor, another church? If it's heretical or wolvish, do we have an obligation to at least say, hey, this isn't right? I'm just letting y'all know this isn't acceptable. So first one, pastors, in a way in which we should live, a higher standard. And second, when do we call out? And if we do call out, how do we do it appropriately? Or if we don't call out, why? We'll start with you, Mike, and we'll let you. Do we need to get Pastor Jerry Dirman's picture up first, though? How are we feeling? Go ahead.
I'll do the first one. You can do the second one. Yes, there is a standard in which we should live by. 100%. You have people who are looking up to you. You have you're leading the way. Okay. So I think that every aspect of your life, we see it in Scripture that we need to be good husbands. We need to be good fathers. And we need to run our house accordingly.
Okay.
And then also, I think that goes in the aspect of your social media.
Okay.
Like I even think about it. So like I have a kid who's got a game today, and I'm gonna go to the game, and it's like when I'm in there,
you gotta act right.
I gotta act right.
Okay.
And I'm like, man, who? And
so
I look. I'm be honest. I have to tell myself this.
Okay.
Though,
So you ain't fighting the ref.
No, and it's like it just you're always on.
Yeah.
Like I think that's the best way to put it. It's like there's never a time where it's like I clock in and I clock out of being a pastor.
Okay. If we see something, should we call it out? And if we do, how do we call it out? Wolfish behavior or heretical? Or do we just say nothing and move on?
I think every circumstance is different, but if you feel like it's hurting the church, or especially if it's hurting your church or people around you, you should say something.
Okay.
Because that's your job, is to protect, especially your sheep, because it's your people.
Okay.
So if you have people asking you questions about this, or people follow this person, or maybe influenced by this person, you might want to say something because you want to get that corrected for your people at least. But if you feel like it's hurting the overall church and this person is on a big platform, I think that's sort of what they also sign up for. But again, it's not necessarily attacking the character of the person, but it's like, no, this.
Speak on that right there. Okay, what do you mean you're not attacking the character? What are you attacking there? What are you correcting?
With whatever they may be teaching, it's like, hey, I don't know you as a person. You might be a great person. You might be a great, father or husband, but it's like, what you're teaching, this is incorrect. And I think it's going to do some damage. So you might want to come out and correct this, or let people know, like, hey, what they're teaching is not biblical, or it's not ethical, whatever it may be, and point that out.
What do you think about what he just said? Not attacking the character, but attacking what was said or what was done. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, for myself, I think sometimes I probably have communicated that in a way that could use a redo.
Oh, I've been totally poor at this. Yeah, totally.
And I do think that is it's very well put. Like, you should attack what is being said rather than the person.
Can I show you a clip to give you a case in point? I don't know this guy, but I want to show you what he said, and I think what he said should be corrected. I don't know him personally, so I don't want to attack him, but I definitely think that what he said should be corrected. Let's give a case in point right here.
Do not be deceived. Blindness comes from deceit. Neither the sexually immoral, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor men who have sex with men, nor thieves, nor the what? Greedy. Nor the drunkards, nor the slanderers, nor the swindlers will inherit the kingdom of God. That's a strong word. And Paul intends it to be strong. And here, some of you have been claiming to follow Jesus for years and years and years. You're coming to this church and you don't give a dime, or you tip God when you remember to. And as God is my witness, man, with all the love in my heart, you know I love you. You know I love you. You may not like what I say, but you cannot say I do not love you. If you're sitting here and claiming to be a stronger man and wearing the gear, and you are not tithing to God through this church, and you're some alpha male that likes to look down on all those gay sex men, just know that God views you and those men as the same. Don't sit here on your high alpha male horse looking at all these perverts out there having sex with men when you withhold from God his tithe. God views that man and you as one and the same. You're like, are you trying to shame me? 1,000% I'm trying to shame you. You're like, is that biblical? You've never read the book, have you? Verse 6, I say all this to shame you. That's a verse in the Bible.
Bishop, what do you think about that?
Well, I don't agree with him.
Tell us why. No, it's okay. Tell us why. I mean, if he was here, he'd probably say he don't agree with you, so it's fine. And by the way, we can still be brothers in the Lord and disagree.
Yeah.
No, I'm not me and you, but him and I. But that's fine. I mean, he can have his opinion. I think he's wrong too, but I want to hear what she was going to say.
Yeah, I don't know how he's correlating living in the gay
I don't know,
lifestyle to someone not tithing.
Well,
I mean, the
word tithe wasn't even in that verse, though.
Yeah.
It was greed.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, go ahead. I just think there's a big difference between being greedy and not tithing.
Yeah. So he jumped somewhere, and because I mean he's talking about that scripture is really a lot of it's gonna be a hard issue that you choosing not to follow God. Someone who's greedy probably not following God. Just like we talked about the wedding yesterday. Just about it's hard to be mean to your wife if you read your Bible every day. Like it's going to do something.
Yeah.
It's hard to live a gay lifestyle and read your Bible every day. Like at some point you're going to give up on one or the other.
Something. You're right.
And so to correlate that, like, hey, just because you don't tithe, or maybe you just don't, someone might not know about it. Some people may go and struggle with it, but we teach here at least it's not a salvation issue. And so he's jumping to that's a salvation issue.
What you got? What you got? What'd you think of that?
I think I was trying to figure out who he's talking to. So
might be
I,
I'm
so
assuming it's a men's conference.
so I think
that's
it's
what I try to figure out too.
I think it's a men's conference, and that's why you guys are alpha males. You say so. I think it's
wearing a shirt.
Yeah, he's got a hat on. Like he's kind of dressed down. I think it's. I think that's why it's a little bit rougher of a word.
That helps a little bit. Theologically, though, I don't think that helps, but that helps a little bit contextually.
And even the jump with the greed into tithing.
Can I ask you a question though? Just because you're gonna go there, can you be greedy and still tithe?
I think so.
I thought the same thing. I thought the same thing. I thought even your tithing could be motivated out of greed. God said, "Well, if I give to him, he gonna give back to me, pressed down, shaken together, rolling over." You know what I mean? Like I'm just saying. Go ahead. I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, and I think to an extent, and you can argue with me or not argue with me, but maybe I'm wrong. But I think that that's probably something that we all wrestle with is greed. And in regards to tithing, it's like one of the reasons why I don't like put my tithe on auto is because I want to think about it when I do it, because I know that that's like trying to kill away that greed. So anyway, that was the big jump for me. And I think that he used homosexuality because he's talking to a bunch of guys, and that was kind of like going to hit him where it hurts.
Oh, okay.
So like, what is the worst thing that they could probably think of?
Yeah. I even think then, like, if you're going to make some correlations, you got to at least be in the biblical context. Because I definitely think greed, right? Greed. You could be greedy with a lot of things outside of money. You could be greedy with your time. Mm-hmm. You could be greedy with your food. I mean, raising boys, you spend half the time teaching them not to be greedy with a lot of things. And I just hermeneutically, he sounds like, I'm just confused with where he was going. He probably is a great guy. He says, all you men know I love you. Mm-hmm. You may not like what I said, so that's a men's conference. Yeah. Okay, maybe he's a swell guy. Swell guy. Look at that. Going back to Beaver. Maybe he's a swell guy, right? I just think that's a hard jump right there. If you're going to do a message about giving, to me, in my opinion, let's go to the text. That, I don't know. I just thought. I think a little much.
And honestly, I think this is a good example of like not everything should be put online.
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
And I'm imagining that's him that put the online.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't look like that's somebody's phone who's kind of like hiding it.
But you bring up a great point. We've lost that. Some things are just in house.
Because it seems like that's a conversation that he's talking to the guys in his church.
Mm-hmm. But right, I feel like we've lost that. Matter of fact, I've even done it here. I was like, is anybody recording? Because I want to talk to you. Don't record. This is just in house. People are like, you're afraid to say it? I'm not afraid to say it. But sometimes I just need to talk to my sheep. And we need to have a very candid conversation. Listen, we don't owe you anything. We don't owe you any footage. We don't owe you any audio. We don't owe you anything. And people are starting to look like it's a moral obligation. It's not a moral obligation. We got nothing to hide. But trust me, we survived thousands of years without any type of recordings of being videotaped or audio recorded. It's all good. And sometimes you just need to clean house. It sounds like the pastor goes, I got nothing to hide. My life's an open book. Mm. But sometimes we just have to have a candid conversation. And I think that was one of those, if you're going to have candid conversations, have it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. I got another. Did anything you want to add to that?
No.
I can see when you were watching, it's like, where's he going with this? Like, come on, bro. On the scripture? Keep to the scripture. Okay. Now, I got to bring up somebody, and I know you guys already have beef. All right? And I know you got beef particular. So, where's Pastor Jerry's face? We're going to have to bring him up. But I personally don't see anything wrong with this. So I'm going to tell you my preference from the jump. I personally don't see anything wrong with this, but a lot of people had some issues with it. And I want to talk about just very candidly why they had the issues and what was really the problem with it. Like, brass tacks, what really is the problem with it, okay? So I'm going to show it to you guys. It's a Mike Todd clip. See, I had to prepare you. I just had to get you guys all ready. I just want to get your honest assessment.
What's he doing?
Just watch.
Is he jumping on a trampoline?
Even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. Sir, flex I do work. Work 6 of them like Mike. He's out of sight. Whoa, you got me pipe. 2 man like Ike. 6 out the spot. Into the night.
Yeah, I'm shaking the drop. I'm still up on top.
sight. Into the night.
All right. He took a lot of flack for that. People, why is he popping champagne? Blah, blah, blah. And truth be told, people went back and looked at it, and they were correcting everybody. That's not champagne. That was apple cider. Mm-hmm. He did this for his 39th birthday, a little photo shoot for himself. The birthday cake, the whole nine. Okay, that beat is sauce, though. I don't care what anybody says. I live to that beat. That beat is nice. You like that beat? I love that beat.
Yeah.
Okay, Kanye repented of his sins and to the Jewish rabbis. Are we back on Kanye? Are we still harping on Kanye or what?
No, I'll never for Kanye.
What was that?
I hope Kanye fights God, but I ain't for Kanye. I never was.
Oh, okay. I like Kanye.
What about College Dropout? You did?
Oh, me.
We like this movie. You didn't like him as a person.
I'm saying as a believer. His
Oh,
music.
we weren't on the bus with Kanye.
I was on the bus.
Oh,
Boy,
no.
I drove that bus.
Yeah.
I drove that. You guys gave me so much flack. Okay, I digress. You have a problem with that photo shoot?
Do I have a problem? I mean, in general, I don't like
I know you don't like flash.
the flash of like a pastor like that in that way. It just doesn't make sense to me. Like it's confusing to me. Like
Okay.
maybe he can explain it to me why he does this. 'Cause to me, it makes no sense. To me, like it's kind of like I don't know. It's weird.
Okay.
It's just weird.
Okay.
I can't think of another way to say it besides you'll say it in the locker room. It's just kind of like soft.
Okay.
It's a little soft.
Okay.
Like yeah, it's a little fruity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
I think our audience gets you.
Yeah. It's like, what are you doing, bro?
Okay.
You're a 40-year-old grown man. What's going on
He's
right
39,
now?
dude.
Oh,
He's
39.
39.
Oh, 40. Oh, my gosh.
What's he going to do next year?
Yeah. It's kind of weird. It's like, he might need some more men in his life. Get some football players. I'm sure some football players go to his church. Need to hang out with them a little bit more.
Okay.
He needs a football player in his
Okay.
life.
Okay.
Yeah, because he needs someone to make fun of him.
Oh,
he got no one in
wow,
his life.
you have a lot to say, actually.
Yeah. This to get the line, just to get him back on course. He's just getting off course a little bit.
Not worth
You
a lot
know?
of it.
Yeah.
What are you going to say? That was it?
I just don't know why you do it. I don't have any problem with it.
Okay, that's what I'm asking.
I mean, maybe there's a lot of people at his church who would also want to do this. And so that's just kind of like who he reaches.
It is the culture of his church.
All right. But if it was like, I don't know, how do you introduce this is my pastor, okay, that's your pastor.
But don't you think that's the culture of his church too? They already know this about him with his illustrated sermons and the things he does. Like this ain't out of the scope and spectrum of who he is.
Yeah, it's just, I mean,
He's not trying to reach me. So
No,
that's fine.
yeah,
He ain't trying to reach me.
Yeah. So having said all that, so me personally, I think I showed, I think maybe my son and I were talking about this, but I personally didn't have a problem with it. As a matter of fact, I like one of those outfits he had on.
I will say this. Sorry to interrupt. The only issue I did have is the bottles. It's like you're popping bottles. Like you are portraying, the lifestyle of
Even though it's
popping
apple
bottles.
cider.
Even though it's apple
Okay.
cider. I mean, most people aren't going to take the time to zoom in on the label.
Okay. I don't argue. All right. I don't argue with any of that. All right. I guess to me, people had a problem with his outfits. They said they were expensive. They said this was an expensive photo shoot.
No, I don't care about that.
Okay, here's where I'm at. Two things real quick. Number one is if he wants to do a photo shoot for his 39th birthday, it's not what I would do, but I've got no problem with it. He's free to walk out his own faith. I agree with you, though. It's hard to introduce your pastor, at least how I understand it. Like, hey, this is my pastor. I get all that. I'm not arguing with that. I don't have a problem with if he makes money in different ways. If he has different streams of income. For all I know, he could have invested on the stock market. He could have had a guy in his church. He could have invested on the stock market.
I saw one of his books on sale yesterday.
He sells a lot of books.
Mm-hmm. I'm surprised. I was like, man, he has a book?
He has a lot of books. I think he has 3 or 4.
Man, who's writing his books? We can call him.
Okay. You got a lot to say. So having said that, okay, I've got no problem. What is he supposed to do with his book money? What is he supposed to do with the monies he gets from royalties? He's helped produce songs. He gets asked to go to other churches. I don't doubt his generosity. I know Mike Todd is very generous. So guess what? I got no problem with how he spends his money. I really don't. I don't know he's an extremely gifted man. I don't know what other avenues. He may have a whole clothing line that's bringing in. He may not even take a salary from the church. That's why I don't get on these bandwagons. I'm okay with what he does. Now, will I do a photo shoot? You ain't going to catch me in no photo shoot.
I haven't got a problem with a photo shoot. It's just the way he did it like he's a 13-year-old girl.
Oh, wow.
It's a bad photo shoot.
Okay, I'm not arguing any of that, but I don't gotta. Well, I don't even recover from this now.
No,
I'm just saying.
He needs people in his life who will make fun of him.
Okay.
Because
my whole
sometimes
point
you
is-
need to be bullied.
But I think all the people he hangs out with, this is what they do. And once again, I'm not there to harp on him. So to me,
Where they at?
well, they're in Oklahoma. Yeah. So he's Midwest. That's Midwest. It's not South. It's Midwest.
Well, yeah, no, I thought they'll be a little more harder over there. At
okay.
least they portray that.
Okay.
You know,
Well,
boots and hats.
I don't know. Maybe he's got boots and hats too. I'm just saying.
I'm sure.
I'm just saying. Okay, you guys obviously feel like calling us out. I just said we got to be careful of that. That's all I'm saying. Okay, let's get to something else.
Okay, hold on. If you do that, you should expect people to make fun of you, though.
I don't think he cares.
No, I don't think so either.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I mean, it gives us the green light to do that.
Okay, so that's why you're okay. Okay. One of the things that I think we need to clear up is I feel like people don't think we call out both sides of the aisle equally and fairly. I feel like we do. I feel like people who really tune in every week feel like we do. I feel like people who tune in sporadically be like, oh, you can tell they're just pro-Trump over there.
Bunch of white supremacists.
Right, bunch of white supremacists.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it's okay. I've been lumped in there before. I don't think people fully understand us. We preach the gospel. We stand on the gospel. And anytime people side skirt the gospel, you're gonna get it from us. You're gonna hear it from us. I don't know of any other group of people that have really dove into both sides of when the war was going on between Israel and Palestine. I don't think anybody jumped in on that. I don't think anybody called out both sides equally. I feel like we did a great job. And so I don't know where people get this other than the fact that they don't tune in all the time, right? So last week, Trump said some things that I completely disagree with. And I don't think he should have said it the way he said it. I think you could have said it a lot better. And it's not that, you ducking that there's really a problem. Let's handle the problem. I'm all about handling problems. I just want to play you what he said. And I think other pastors should maybe not call out his behavior, but definitely denounce that rhetoric. Does that make sense? I agree. We don't really know him, but we do need to denounce bad rhetoric when it happens. And we need to say, hey, listen, that's totally uncalled for. We should not do that. And I don't stand by that. I completely disagree with that. Does that make sense? And I think if more pastors did that, that would help people to stay on the straight and narrow, if that makes sense. I want you to take a look at this and take a look at his comments.
Thank you. The mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, is saying that he's actually proud to have the largest Somali community in the country, and his police chief.
Well, then he's a fool.
Well, his police chief is also
I
saying.
wouldn't be proud to have the largest Somalian. Look at their nation. Look how bad their nation is. It's not even a nation. It's just people walking around killing each other. Look, these Somalians have taken billions of dollars out of our country. They've taken billions and billions of dollars. They have a representative, Ilhan Omar, who they say married her brother. It's a fraud. She tries to deny it now, but you can't really deny it because, it just happened. She shouldn't be allowed to be a congresswoman, and I'm sure people are looking at that. And she should be thrown the hell out of our country. And most of those people, they have destroyed Minnesota, okay? Minnesota, you have an incompetent governor. You have a crooked governor. He's crooked as hell, but he's incompetent. Waltz he should be ashamed. That beautiful land, that beautiful state, it's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country. And all they do is complain, complain, complain. You have her. She's always talking about the Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution. All she does is complain about this country. And without this country, she would not be in very good shape. She probably wouldn't be alive right now. So Somalia is considered by many to be the worst country on earth. I don't know. I haven't been there. I won't be there anytime soon, I hope. But what the Somalian people have done to Minnesota is not even believable. It's not even believable. And a lot of it starts with the governor. A lot of it starts with Barack Hussein Obama, because that's when people started coming in. And you have to have people come in that are going to love our country, cherish our country. They want to kiss our country goodnight. They talk about our country. We want them to pray for our country. This is not the people living in Minnesota. and she's a disaster. She should not be, and her friends shouldn't be allowed. Frankly, they shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople, okay? They shouldn't even be allowed to be congresspeople because they don't represent the interests of our country. Anybody else?
Mr. President, you on Somali immigrants.
He went on to say that they're trash people and they're garbage. Their country's garbage. Nobody is trash, period. You're image bearers of God. I understand if you've got personal beef with the governor, and their beef is they've stole a lot of money fraudulently, which they're going to prove. Once again, there's that truth right there, and it is true. There's been some fraudulent with EBT, some SNAP, all this stuff. The way they got in, they circumvented some stuff. That's undeniable. We understand that. But to go ahead and say all people group, all the Somalians, that's just stupid. That's not right. And as Christians, we are not, I'm not saying he is. Let me, real quick, okay? I'm not saying this, but as pastors who have shown support, you need to call that out. And you say, President Trump, you got to do better. You can say what you need to say, but you don't need to keep, ramming Ilhan Omar. You don't need to do that. You need to go after the rhetoric and what she says, and you need to correct what she says. And then you can't call all people trash. Jesus has never done that. And we got to be better at that. If we're going to be the leading nation, it starts with us cleaning up our verbiage.
Yeah, you can't call all people trash. I do. The issue I have, if you have a group of people who are coming all together to this place, and you guys are all, not all, but a lot of you are coming together and committing fraud, this is what you should expect to happen.
What's that? Go ahead.
You should expect people to look down upon you guys.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's just sort of going to happen. There's going to be some good people in there who, aren't a part of that. And some people, and they're going to get caught up in that because a lot of people in your people group came here and stole. They're saying, billions of dollars. And it's now the way Trump says anything, I don't agree with him. I don't agree the way Trump talks constantly. He says things the wrong way that are putting people down and hurting people. I do agree that I don't think if someone comes from another country, they should be in public office. Mm-hmm. I agree with it. And every time I hear that lady talk, I was like, man, we gotta get her. How's she in office?
Right.
Like, you don't love our country. I would love to see you deported.
Which I hear you and I agree with you. Do you think some people look past what he says because of the facts he's saying, and they're like, well, I don't agree with what he says, but what he's saying is right.
Yeah, and there's people who automatically reject everything because of what he says it.
Yeah.
So that's the problem with what he does is he requires people to look past so much bad to actually accept the actual truth. And not everyone wants to do that. Not everyone has even have the time to do that. It's just like, man, you hear the way he speaks, you're like, man, that sounds so evil. It sounds so bad. Like, you don't want to have to do, you know what? I'm just pushing it all to the side. And that's sort of the problem with Trump.
What about you, Mike? What you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely don't agree. I think that was really hateful speech. I think one of the things that is kind of discouraging is you have somebody who's in a position of power who can shine light on a negative situation so that other people could actually want to listen in on what's happening.
Right.
But because the way he communicates it, everybody checks out. It's like what Dee said. But then also you have somebody who's in a position of power to bring unity or a better job of bringing unity.
Right.
And so just to highlight a country that obviously is in need, he could have done that differently. Hey, the Somalian people are beautiful people.
Right.
They have a country and then you could state the facts. And then people would be like, man, that's messed up. What's going on in Somalia? And then people would want to help them out. But there's a reason why they're leaving.
You're right.
And so, I mean, we could help them. Or we could shine light on negative situations. But he just totally bashing them like that. I don't agree. But I also do know that there's facts in what he's saying, and I obviously don't like Omar either. So it's like at some point I'm hoping that he will kind of get it together a little bit, but I have a feeling it's only going to get worse as he gets older.
You bring up a great point. I don't know how I could disagree with you as he gets older because he's just more emboldened. I'm not running again.
Nope.
That's sad, and I think those who are of faith around him need to pastor him in such a way, if he's open to it, that I don't know that Somalia is the worst place in the world. Haiti's pretty bad. I mean, what was it? What was his name? The guy who was eating people? Remember? Captain Eater or something like that? I can't remember his name, but
Barbecue?
Barbecue. It was even worse than Captain Eater barbecue. I think Haiti's pretty bad. Wouldn't you agree? It's pretty bad. It's been bad for a while, and people know that. Shoot, I think it goes all the way back to the Clintons, and when the Clintons said they would fix it. Correct me on that if I'm wrong, somebody. I just think that Trump, we have an opportunity with all the people of faith around you to really do some good. To good. And I also think maybe you don't know all the Somalian people. I remember when the shoe was on the other foot and you know, the rhetoric was Mexico's not sending their best, you know, or they're not coming up through Mexico the best. I understand what he's saying, but you just kind of lumped all Mexicans in there. And if you know anything, you know, not everybody working in the fields is Mexican, or not everybody working in the blue collars is Mexican. Like Hondurans, Peruvians, you know, Colombians, you know, Nicaraguans, Salvadorians, Hondurans. I mean, we're in Fresno. You get that. So I just think, come on, man. Like we have a real opportunity. If the Christian evangelical vote puts you into office, then let's show Christ. I understand you're upset, the fraudulent, the attacks against you. I get all that. But be better, because we can do better and be better. That's all I'm saying.
How about there's a misery index? Okay.
Oh, you just looked. Is this Google?
There's a misery index. So according to the misery index, these are some of the worst countries in the world. Sudan. Oh. This is a surprising one for me. Argentina. Syria, Yemen, Turkey, Venezuela, Zimbabwe, Lebanon, Malawi. Some country I don't know how to pronounce. Lebanon, Angola. They didn't even make it.
Somalia?
Top 5 countries with the highest misery index would be Sudan, Argentina, Syria, Yemen, and Turkey.
Haiti wasn't even in there. Interesting. Where'd you get that off of?
Google.
Okay.
So you know it's right.
Yeah. Deshaun. So I can think that. I feel like, once again, I just feel like out of all that, right, we're in a position that if I'm just stating what people said. We're in a position if the evangelical vote pushed him in, okay, pushed him in to office, they say that in the Gen Zers, right? It was the young men, the 18 to 25s who really.
Yeah, that's a turning point.
Right.
Got them there.
Okay, if that's the case, then shine the light. Use that platform. In a world full of Donald Trumps, be a Tim Tebow.
Well, and we said this a while. I said this I don't know, long time ago. But this is the type of stuff that concerns me for the next election, because I think that whoever's going to be coming from behind him as a conservative is going to be fighting an uphill battle with comments like this. Mm-hmm. Because whoever is running against that person is going to be like, well, this is what you're going to get. You're going to get another 2.0 of this.
And by the way, in my opinion, it's okay to say, I don't agree with how he said that. I agree with the fraudulent. I agree with you. If you're going to be a sitting member of Congress, you should talk good about our country. After all, you're getting $150,000 a year and some really good perks, right? I agree with all that. And I would quickly separate myself from that. Hey, I don't talk like that. And I don't need to talk like that. And stand on your faith. And once again, in a world full of people who speak bombastically, be a Mendoza. Francisco Mendoza for the Indiana Hoosiers. Shout out, #1 college team in America, right? Be a Tim Tebow. If you're a believer, be the saint himself, Forrest Frank. Come on, somebody. Round of applause, cheers, come in. Everybody loves Forrest Frank. I don't know how you can hate this guy.
Except for the Jelly Roll.
Yeah, and that did not work out well for Jelly Roll.
It's hard to do that as a politician, though. If you look at Mike Pence, his career's done.
Hey, you know, you ain't lying about that.
Then everyone, even conservative, came out, he has no backbone, he's soft, he's weak. It's like, no, he's like, I'm not standing with all this stuff Trump's saying. And he came out, like, I'm a believer first. And like, he's standing on his faith, and everyone abandoned him.
You can. I think you bring up a great point. I think there was a little bit more to the Mike Pence January 6th thing. Okay, I think there's a little bit more there. I'm not saying you can't even be confrontational. Okay, I'm not saying that. I agree with this. You don't have to go ad hominem. You don't have to attack somebody's character when you could just attack what they said. That's where I'm at. And I'd rather you be confrontational that way. I got no problem with having back. Okay, I'm going to have to edit this little part out, just this little blip of a clip, because I don't agree with, and I don't understand why this person, it might be a logo. I don't know. So it might be a logo. But Patrick Blake David, I don't know. Do you listen to all his podcasts?
Oh, still a lot of them.
Okay, so do you know about the recent purchase of Orn Hub? I don't want to say the word because then we get.
I didn't see that. I didn't see
YouTube.
the episode, but
Okay.
You know.
So a rabbi and his investment company bought the largest distribution of
I heard that,
corn in the world. Corn Hub. Okay. We don't want to say the word because then they.
I was like, who's Ornhub?
Oh, okay.
I thought this
no.
person.
Oh, no.
Gotcha.
And he tries to justify, and I'm sitting there going, is anybody going to call out the rabbi? Where is my fellow Jewish community saying this is absolutely a try? Just watch this clip, okay? Just
out of all the businesses you guys could buy, why did you guys target buying Pornhub?
Yeah, so we saw an extraordinary opportunity. The fact that it's newsworthy or noteworthy that we've made the acquisition, that should tell you that this is a space that has not had mainstream investment, right? That it's a space, I always said, when we looked at the business, it's a business that's legal. Not only is it legal, but in every Western democracy, it's constitutionally protected. It could not be outlawed, even if you wanted to, but it doesn't have that legitimacy. And one of the reasons for that, and as we started to examine the business further, was that nobody wanted to say we are the owners of a major adult company, right? Everyone, they wanted the benefits of owning a major adult company. It's a profitable business, but nobody wanted to be out front and engaging with other tech businesses, with government, with law enforcement, with regulation in that sort of way that the modern tech industry has to. So we saw in that this arbitrage opportunity, right? Where if people who come from the mainstream professional networks, whether it's law enforcement, tech, finance, et cetera, this is an opportunity to really bring this industry into the 21st century. We saw an extraordinary opportunity to do that with this jewel of an asset, Pornhub, but obviously with the entire company.
I love it. You said jewel of an asset. So I'm going to give you some stats here that we see. So one, it says 2018 Pornhub alone witnessed a jaw-dropping 5.8 billion hours of content consumption, which, by the way, is kind of strange because most men should only be watching for a minute or two, right? But this is like when you hear 5.8 billion
no,
hours.
Patrick, our average visit is about 10 and a half minutes.
They probably got off the computer and they left the website on, but there's a different story there. So that's nearly 665 centuries of material over a single platform in just 1 year. Here's another one for you. The world was flocking to Pornhub in 2018 with a whopping 63,992 new visitors per minute. Is that true? 63,992 new visitors per month.
Doesn't sound unreasonable.
33.5 billion visitors. Insane, right? And the most popular day to visit Pornhub is Sunday. You guys got all these different stats. And you even put up a stat recently on which state consumed the least while the election was going on and who was committed to it. So you're also involved in the election stuff that's going on, right? But at the same time, you got a petition. I think something came out that says more than 2.2. Thank you so much, Kelly. More than 2.2 million people have signed an online petition to shut down the site. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think that the topic of pornography has always been a divisive one. I think it has to do with the topic of sexuality in general, right? There are always going to be different views about human sexuality, and pornography is just emblematic of those. In fact, it's a little more public. It's more in your face. That's the nature of it. It's sex for the public. So you're going to have people who have really deeply held convictions about the proper place of sex in our society, and that's a good debate. There's nothing wrong with that debate. But you take 2.5 million signatures, we have 130 million daily active users. So people have voted with their mice and with their feet in terms of where they're going to go. But of course, it's going to be a subject of public.
Oh boy, we got a problem. I have a couple issues. A jewel of an asset, he said. You should only be watching for 2 minutes. Come on, guys. We got to do better than this. What'd you think about this? Why isn't, I would just like to know why my conservative, and maybe they are, my conservative Jewish friends, they need to be calling this out. This is horrible. Pornography is not good. It is not healthy. It's been proven to literally destroy men's brains. We have a whole generation who grew up with accessibility to the internet and to its debaucherous things that it's been offering, and we are paying the price in Western America. Go ahead.
Well, you had Prager. Yeah, talking about like it's not that bad.
Well, he said in according to Torah that you can have the thought, you can't act on it. To act on it is the sin. To have the thought is not. That's why we follow Jesus.
Yeah.
He said, if you even lust in your heart, you've committed adultery. Jesus took it one step further, and that's why they had a problem with him.
Yeah, and so in terms of Jewish people, a lot of them are far from God. I mean, and that's the hope that they'll come to God through Christ.
But you saw in Israel, there are Orthodox Jews who are very strict, won't touch a woman, won't sit next to a woman. Maybe they are calling him out. But this is a foul. I don't know what God he's following. Obviously, he's following the money God because he ain't following God.
Yeah, I mean, because a big part of this, and so I didn't listen to this podcast either, but Pastor Brad David had someone on. I can't remember if it was before this one or after, about how much human trafficking happens on this website, and how much of the videos are people like being taken advantage of. And
what about the women, D? What about the no woman come out of Pornhub healthy?
No, and a lot of them are saying don't want to do it, and so that's what he had another group of people on saying how evil this is, and that's why they're trying to get it shut down, and that's why they called it like trafficking. It was like, hey, no, these people are just being used. You guys are consuming these things that people are actually not there on their own will, and so I know Texas got it.
18.
Yeah,
be able to log in.
So you have to.
Good for them.
So you literally have to show your ID.
California, hey, California always want to follow Texas map regulation, all this. Follow them on that. Come on, Newsom, follow them on that. 18. You cannot log into any adult site unless you're 18. No kids have access.
You have to put your ID in.
Yep. Come on, follow Texas on that. What'd you think about that clip? Got to call him out, bro. Got to call him out.
Yeah, we talk about greed. Man, it's
jewel of an asset.
The jewel of an asset. Yeah, I mean, he's obviously a very intelligent person, and he's thinking with his mind and wanting to make money at the expense of people. And it's just, I mean, his role of a rabbi is to what?
I thought it was to connect you with a personal walk with Hashem, that's God, and to get you to do mitzvos, which is righteous acts. It's to love. It's the Shema, to love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, all thy soul. I never met a brother who consumes that much and still loves the Lord with all his heart. I think your heart is divided between a few sites and a few different ladies on that site, and then the Lord.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of what we see in society now is a byproduct of the consumption of this.
Absolutely.
From the way that people choose to date to the way that people choose to treat each other, the mental health, a lot of this stuff. And for him as a rabbi, somebody who's supposed to be in his position because he loves people, this is very disgraceful.
It's unfortunate. You know why? We read in Deuteronomy. How many times God warns you don't play the harlot? How many times it says don't date those other people? They gonna trick you out, turn you out. How many times? How many times it says that's not how you're to treat women? That you are not to exploit them, that you are not to do that. I could give you a laundry list. He constantly dealing with their sexual immorality. You want to talk about some sexual freedom? No, your sexual immorality. God is always dealing with you on that. You name it. It took Samson down, took David down. And if it could get David and Samson, you toast. And this guy's over here promoting it.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't talk anything about moral. He just says this is legal and they can make good money.
Yeah.
So,
it's constitutionally, yeah.
Okay, so if it's legal, but it's immoral, what you doing? He's supposed to be a rabbi. Call him out, man. Come on. Well, not you, but I'm talking people call him out. We're doing our best. You know how many men I've had to help put back together because this ruined their life, ruined their marriage?
Wait, even non-believers believe this is bad. There's a ton of them that'll come out and it's like, no, men who are admitting how they're trying to recover from it. And so it's not even a Christian thing. Like the world is realizing how bad this is.
I can't. Anyway, I was a little disappointed, Patrick, by David.
What?
The 2 minutes.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't.
No, I don't know if he was just making a joke or.
Yeah, he's making a joke. No. He wants to get. No, I know a little more about him, but
that's why I'm letting you speak on it.
He wants to get rid of it. So I'm saying he brought another people opposing this and trying to shut it down.
So you're saying he was just making a joke about it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I'm glad you clarified that because I was a little heated at that. Come on, dude. Do better.
No, and the reason I follow him because he's a genuine believer.
Okay, but you know what I'm saying? That for someone just tuning in on clip, that's why I was a little like, come on, Patrick, you got to do better. All right. I'm glad you clarified. Let's talk about Deuteronomy. We're almost done with Devarim or Deuteronomy. I know you was filling this book. I want to talk real quickly. I got to get you guys' thoughts. You do today's reading, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. How sad, how unfortunate, how frustrated are you or Moses? God brings you into the tent of meeting, gather the elders. We're about to do a laying hands of ceremony on Joshua. And God starts off speaking through the cloud with a prophetic word that these people are going to turn against me. These people are going to walk away. You, Moses, you done led them for 40 years. You've seen all this. You done did your best, golden calf moments, the whole nine, two sets of tablets, and now God just dropped a bomb on you. Hey, man, you did all that hard work? Don't worry. They're going to blow it here in a quick minute. I read that this morning. It's like, yo, dog, I feel bad for you, Moses. I don't know. What'd you think when you read that? Like, that's all I could think about. Poor Moses, man. He done did all this hard work. And Joshua going, what? I'm about to inherit the same stiff-necked people? Man, I don't want this job. And that's why I told him 3 times, Be strong and courageous. Be strong and courageous. Well, why I gotta be strong and courageous? Because they about to flop on you right now. I don't know. What'd you think when you read it though, Bishop? Come on, man.
Was that was today's reading?
That was today's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
31.
31.
No, I mean I read it. I thought huh.
Oh,
anyways,
you didn't like it so much you skipped over that part.
No, I read it. No, I read it. I thought look at previous chapters too. I had wrote something down, but it was this idea that in good times, like it really shows your heart. Are you still going to follow God? Okay. And because it was late in some later chapters, and that's all I was trying to figure out. And Moses tells them like, "Hey, when you prosper, don't forget God." Mm-hmm. And a lot of times we think it's through the struggle, but a lot of times it's like, man, when you're doing really well and no one can tell you nothing, how are you going to act? Mm-hmm. How are you going to act when you have everything? You have the job you want. You have a car that runs well. You have everything you want, and you don't need anything from anyone. How are you going to act now? Are you still going to follow God, or you feel like I don't need nothing from anyone? I'm my own man. I'm my own woman. And what God tells them there is like, nah, once I give you guys everything and you're doing good and you're the baddest in the area, like you're going to forget about me, and then I'm going to have to humble you and have everyone come destroy you. It just shows the heart of man. Because we always think, man, once I get there, I'm going to be like this. It's like, oh, or you're not going to come to church on Sunday anymore.
Or that person who says, yeah, if I win $1 million, I'm going to break you off something for the church, pastor. Those people?
Yeah.
Yeah, I get you. All right. What about you, man? What'd you think about our reading this last week?
I was thinking about winning $1 million. Right?
Oh, okay. Okay, real quickly. Did anybody else blow you up? Was it about 8 days ago or 7 days ago? They talked about if your husband gets into a fight, and if you go to help your husband,
and
you're not allowed to grab another man. Okay. Anybody else get text messages? I got a whole bunch. Bro.
I got at least one.
Okay. They're like, "Can you explain this to me, please?" How did you answer him?
Well, it was for my wife.
Okay. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. Did they ask you about that? Okay. My answer was what you read. Here's what you read. I don't understand.
Let the man fight.
Let him duke it out.
Let him. Don't get in the middle of that.
Don't jump in. Go ahead. What you got? Deuteronomy.
Man, what were we talking about?
Moses. Moses got bad news.
Moses. Man, Moses. And just the idea of all the hard work, only to come up short. And it just had me thinking like, and I think you were talking about this recently, of just. Well, actually, yeah, you were talking about this because in my devotion I was talking about legacy and how you won't always see all the fruits of your labor, and even in the disappointment that Moses probably is in that moment, like he's like, well, I knew I wasn't making it, but man, I'm not making it, and you're not making it. Well, I guess at least we got here, guys. There's got to be a silver lining, and obviously there was a silver lining, and. But you may not ever see it, and so just believing in God that what He says will come to pass even when you don't see it.
I found this is a scripture I was looking at in chapter 28, verses 47 says, "Because you did not serve the Lord your God joyfully and gladly in a time of prosperity, therefore in hunger and thirst and nakedness and dire poverty you will serve the enemies the Lord sends against you." And it was just like that heart that like God gave you everything. And then your heart still wasn't glad. You still weren't joyful. And because of that, I'm stripping it from you. Wow. And it's just that when you talk about it, it's always being grateful, having a heart of gratitude, and how important it is. God literally said, because you weren't that, I'm stripping it from you. So how important it is to have that heart. And then I kept thinking about, even before I saw that video, about giving. Like, where's your heart at when you do it? Because it matters to God. It matters more than it's what you do, but where's your heart at? And if not, God's literally like, I'm going to take that from you because you're not grateful for what I gave you.
Wow. I love all of it. Once again, I want to encourage everybody. We do a segment where we recap what we've been reading for the week. Right now we're in the book of Deuteronomy, getting ready to head on over to Ezekiel. So this ought to be fun. And Ezekiel goes hot and cold for me. It'll get real good, then it'll go real cold, and I'm like, man, what are we doing here? And then it gets real good again. So I do appreciate it. I love the Valley of Dry Bones. I think that's 35 on. So really want to encourage everybody with that. Follow along the reading with this reading recap. Let's do message recap. I'm going to let you pick. We had the first Wednesday. I talked about the power of the 66. And then we had this last Sunday. What does Jesus do in my failures? You can bring out anything you want. You can ask any question. Let's do a little message recap right here. What you got?
Sunday was really good. It's really because it came down really to the gospel message. Okay. Like at the end, it was like just this real basic, like follow me. That's what she kept talking about, is follow me. And that's kept thinking, it's like, man, what a privilege. Good God comes and you told your story, and when you're at your lowest, God is still there for you. Like when you feel like no one's there, or you feel like everyone's bad, God says like, no, I'm still here with you. And just to remember that and be willing to, if you humble yourself, God's going to see you through. Like that's a promise. Like you're going to make it. There's not this question like, man, if I go low, or people will take advantage of me, if God going to actually show up? No, if you go low, he is going to lift you up. And just the power in that. And it's like, this in that moment on that Sunday, I'm like, why not follow him? Like, if you're still like deciding, or you're still unsure, for what? Like, this is a guaranteed victory. Like, this is guaranteed you're going to win. So why not choose that? And so just go all in and just take that W. Like on the other side, you might not, we might lose, but this you will win.
Ask you a question. Do you ever truly fully get over something here on earth? Do you ever truly fully get over it? Did David ever fully get over the fact that he killed Uriah and it cost him building the temple, it cost him his kid? Did you think he ever really got over it here?
Man, I don't want to say with absolute that you can't get over something completely, but you're always gonna be working through something.
Okay.
Like there's always something you're gonna be working through.
I guess how I'm looking at it, like some things leave a scar.
Yes, yeah. Well, something's gonna define your life forever.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, yeah.
And I guess what I'm saying, and by the way, I'm not even saying you can't reach your full potential, and that you're not gonna reach your full. I just think people have this misnomer that they're gonna fully get over it. Like 100%. And even a scar is a representation. I didn't get over it 100% because this scar is easily torn. There's just not enough skin here. I didn't fully, but it's 90, 95, right? I just think as I'm looking now, like at Moses, and I mean, having read Deuteronomy and this stuff, and I'm looking at Paul, and I'm looking at everybody in the Bible. I don't know that they fully got over it. In the sense of, I think they fulfilled their purpose, but I don't know that they fully. I think they were still. I think it's just human nature to look back at what was lost, at what was learned, at what was gained, at what was even trivial. And I think people who are able to process that and just go, listen, I don't have to fully understand. You think Job fully understood? He still lost his kids, bro. I don't know that we fully. I think that's what people get hung up on. I don't need to fully understand. And I don't need to get fully over it to move forward. I guess that's what I was thinking of. I mean, I don't know. I just haven't gone through some pretty harsh things. I look at it like, I don't know. I still look back and things I would have done different, could have done different. Not shoulda, coulda, woulda. That they don't prohibit me. They don't stump me. But I have learned. I laugh about a lot of stuff now, right? However, I still think people are living in this world of I'm fully going to get over it. You might not. But it doesn't stop you from moving forward. It doesn't prohibit you from growing and still fulfilling with God. It says that when David had completed his work, he rested with his forefathers. You can still finish your work. But I think, I know as being a parent, you don't get over the loss of your kid. Not like that. You know what I mean? It's not like flippantly.
Yeah.
I know it still scars you. However, you still are able to fulfill what God has asked you to do. And we do have the hope we'll be reunited. Okay. But I'm just saying. And remember, more than anything else, David loved God. If you can say all you want about, the more I read about David, the more you really got to see he loved God. He had moments of weakness, and we all do. But he was going to build God that temple. And I know. And if anybody could have got it done with a quickness, it's David. David would have broke the bank to do it. And so I don't know that David really fully healed from that either. Like, man, the one thing I wanted to do was give back. And God, I was going to build this for you. That's why he set up Solomon. Talk about a plug and play. That's just my, that's just.
Oh, yeah. Man, I think more and more, there's consequences here on earth for what we do. And how people are going to judge you and look at you. But God cares about the heart. And I think that's what we see with David. There's consequences for what he did, but God saw his heart. So we can look at him, and there might be people here on earth that make mistakes, and we're all looking at them like, man, I don't know. And God's like, I love them because they love me. But there's a consequence for what they do. Is the view, how people are going to view is going to be different. But God says, I'm still with them. Because that's how I think how we look at David. Like, how do you explain it? How do you explain all the stuff he did? but God still says, not some man after my own heart, and how much favor he still got from God. And that's always talked about Matthew 7. You really don't know. We can look at people and think we know, but only God really truly knows.
If you're Paul, and you've had this radical experience, I don't know how you can love Jesus. And by the way, this is not rhetorical. I'm literally being serious. As much as Paul did, third heaven, all this stuff, and you're still not somewhat plagued by what you did to Stephen. What you did to the kids, what you did to the parents in persecuting Christianity. I don't know how you can. I mean, I've been serving the Lord years now, and I think about all the people still that I slighted, that I did wrong, pre-Christ and even post-Christ. That still gets at me sometimes. Not in a condemning way to where I'm paralyzed and I can't move forward to the Lord, but just like, man, Aunt, you know what? And looking for opportunities to right my wrongs. And even after I righted my wrongs, still going, man, I should have did better. I don't know that Paul did. I think that's what he had moments of reflection. That's why he wrote in Romans, one of our favorite parts, man, the sinner that I am, chief sinner. Paul's calling himself. If Paul's a chief sinner, what are you?
Yeah, he calls himself the least of the apostles.
No, but I'm saying, what are you if you're the chief of all sinners? If Paul is saying he's a chief of all sinners, I'm for sure going to hell. Hyperbole on that. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, if you read his teachings, he's saying what I want to do, I don't do, right? And what I'm not supposed to do, I end up doing. He's breaking it down. And so that's why I think there's a level. I think there's a level of our humanity in that. And that we do reflect on these things. And I think people are living with this notion that, I'm just going to forgive and forget, and I'm just going to be able to move on, and everything's going to be hunky-dory, and I'll be able to move past stuff 100%. Now, I just don't know. I just don't know that's it. Because the closer I get to Jesus, the more sensitive I am to His Spirit. And the more sensitive I am to His Spirit, the more I care about people.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense. I'm just saying, I was thinking about that like with Moses. He loved God. He wanted more than anything. He worked hard to get people to the promised land, and to find out through one bad decision of hitting a rock instead of speaking to it, one act of disobedience, and he's gone. He's gone. That was it. And to know that he could look over to the promised land, and he wasn't getting in. The Bible gives us a clear indication. His eyes were not weak, and his faith did not fail him. His strength did not leave him. You know what that told me? Moses was in just as good enough shape as when he was 40, 80, and now at 120. But the reason he wasn't getting in was disobedience. I mean, that's all I'm saying. I think some things you don't ever fully get over, in the sense of they're still in the back of your mind. It's just our human nature. You don't think Adam and Eve were constantly looking back to Eden? Like, man, we blew it. I think that, I'll prove it to you. That's the whole reason God put a cherubim in front of them with a flaming sword. Because they were going to try to get back. It's human nature. But you can't come back. We got to walk this out now. And it's not even, like I said, that you're not going to fulfill your purpose. Peter. I think Peter went all out the second time because he still remembered the first time. And that's why history tells us what? When they were going to go crucify him, what did he say? No. I did not deserve to die the way my Savior died. So they said, okay, we'll flip you upside down. That's all I'm saying. I think some of that is what drives us to do better and to be better, if that makes any sense. Go ahead. Follow me. I mean, not follow me, but the message or the 60 cents.
Well, I mean, just kind of going off what you were just saying, I guess my 2 cents was exactly what you said at the end. You know, what does fully healed and fully kind of getting through it look like on the other side? Well, if it allows you to forget about it, well, I don't know if we should fully get healed and fully get over it, because it's part of what drives us to be better. When I think about, you know, you talk to a parent who has lost a child, a lot of times that drives them to be a better parent now for the children that they do have. Okay. You know, you talk to the person who messed up in their marriage, a lot of times it's what drives them to not mess up again. And so, yeah, there is this healing, like your elbow, like you don't want that to be an open wound, right, where it's, you know, getting infected. But at the same time, when you look at your elbow, sometimes I'm sure it tells you like, hey, I got to be careful the next time I try to do something.
Right.
But, you know, we got a youngster over here who's broke his wrist jumping off a fence, and if he's got You know, if he's got a scar, it reminds him, hey, you know, I'm married now. I got to live a little different.
It's true though. It's true stories.
And so I think that there is a little bit of how we carry that moving forward, which exposes our current heart with God. And if our current heart and our current situation with God is one in which it's healthy, we look back at the past, and although it hasn't necessarily been fully healed to where like I wish I could forget about it, we look back at it with the right perspective, and it pushes us and it motivates us to live better and live differently. So anyway, as you guys were talking, that's just because it's like, okay, think about all the different bad things that maybe have happened to you growing up, or relationships that you've had, or accidents that have taken place. And you look back now and you would say, yeah, I'm healed from that. But there's still like, sometimes you're like, I wish it wouldn't have happened. But you use that to push forward.
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about parenting before, and it's like you can't always save your kids from their bad decisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you also know that some of those bad decisions is going to help propel them to move forward to be better adults. So I think that's maybe the balance that takes place in this like healing. Like God wants us to not be an open sore, but at the same time, he heals us. We wear that scar. It reminds us to be better moving forward.
I love it. Bishop, I talked about yesterday the words Shema, Edu, behold, in the Greek. And then I ended it with the follow me, and how the follow me doesn't really do a justice to what Jesus is asking us to do. And I concluded with follow me means good times, bad times, confusing times, dry seasons, abundant seasons. Follow me isn't predicated on how we feel or even what we're going through. It's a command that we stick with him through all seasons. Did any of that stand out to you when I was talking about the follow me? Like, hey, people got to get with it. Like, this is it, Christ for life.
Yeah, it's sort of what I was saying. It's like, you know you're going to win. I mean, that's one of my favorite scriptures that you mentioned. Is like Jesus asks them, will you guys leave me as well? And he says, where else will we go? For you have the words of eternal life. There is no other place to go. Right. Like, this is it. Like, this is the one. There's no other, there's no other place to go. There's no other one to strengthen you in the way that Christ can. He's the one that can bring all your brokenness and make it and put it all back together again.
Right.
Like, who else is there? There's no one. Everyone else says, hey, come do these things. And Jesus says, just come to me and give it to me. I'll work it out. It's like when your kids come to you and then they're hurting, they're in pain. It's like, okay, what do you need? Like, let's go fix this. And that's what God does. It's like, hey, no, you take this because of what Christ did. I take this and I make it clean. Now follow me.
I love it. Wow. What about you? Anything else from yesterday or Wednesday?
Yeah, I love that scripture. Because, having not had the Lord, and looking back, it's like, man, where else am I going to go now? So it's hard in good seasons and in bad seasons, in the hills and the valleys. It's like, sometimes you're like, man, this is not a good season. But man, where else am I going to go? Like in my worst day, following Christ is better than my best day not following him.
So true.
So where am I going to go?
Where am I going to go? When I think about that, where else am I going to go? Where are you going to go? You really going to go back to the club? You going to go back to the smoke, to the drink? You going to go back to the needle? You going to go back to the friends that just got out and might be going back in? You going to go back to the same brokenness? You going to go back to that? Like, if you think about it, to the disciples, to the apostles, what, you going to go back fishing? If it wasn't for Jesus telling you to throw your net on the other side, you'd come back broke. Where are you really going to go back to? What is really waiting for you? We act as if the devil has a compassionate moment in his life. We act as if he really cares about you. We act as if this world isn't a dog-eat-dog world. We act as if the homies are just going to pick up where we left off. This is what we act like. But Jesus is offering us something so much better. He's not offering us a life without pain, a life without comfort. He's not offering us a life free from all the troubles and hardships and all this. What he's offering us is companionship, that he will walk with us. The Bible says, though I walk through the valley of a shadow of death. In other words, you got to walk through it to get to your promised land. You got to walk through some deserts to get to some promised land, to some good dirt. You got to walk through a barren season to get to your fruitful season. And most people miss that. And so Jesus ain't, where else are you going to go? There's only one place, and it's found in him. And what I don't understand now, he will let me know then. I was talking to a brother this morning. I said, I think what people have a hard time with is they think of it as formulaic. Well, if I do X and Y, then God will give me Z. The kingdom doesn't work that way. They think, well, if I show up on church, if I'm a part of the A team and I tithe, then I'm supposed to get all these blessings. And nothing bad is supposed to happen. It doesn't work that way. Because if it worked that way, we would all be doing the formula. Everybody would be doing the same formula. But what it is will you follow him? Will you make the decision in the bad season when your marriage is tore up from the floor up? Will you do it when your kids are being disrespectful? Will you do it when you get the pink slip at your job? Will you do it when you're broken? Not just on mountaintops. And when you get to the mountaintop, Bishop, will you still remember him? Will you still show up to church early to serve even though you're making more money than you ever have? Will you still show up to church when your marriage is blissful and everything is good? Will you still serve him in the good times and the bad times? This is the thing. He's constantly every morning reminding us, today will you follow me? I don't know about you, but I'm going to pull a Joshua right now. I choose today to serve and to follow the Lord. As for me and my household, this has been an Out for the Podcast. We out.